Hey, you want to make more money in your coaching business? Then start giving your clients what they want.
Hey, I'm Ken. I used to be a homicide detective. I was a cop for over 15 years, and I got sick of it. When I found out I was going to become a dad, I needed to make a change. In the last 15 years, I've started 4 different businesses in 4 different industries, and they've made a lot of money. This channel is dedicated to showing people exactly how to build an 8-figure coaching business. Every single part of it. I love teaching people how to write books, how to get your books traditionally published, how to turn those books into 7-figure coaching businesses, and you're going to find all that information right here.
So, I want to talk to you about serving content to your clients before they're your clients. The reality is, like I've been talking about in this video series, that more than ever, the internet has changed. There's more people online than ever. The pandemic caused that, as you know. There's more people that are looking for help online than ever. And so it's probably the best time in history to start an online business, especially if you're getting into the help economy, helping other people. But if you really want to scale a business and you're serious about making 7 or 8 figures, then what you have to realize is that probably the oldest adage in the world for creating sales in a business applies and is more relevant today than ever before. And what's that adage? It's really simple. People need 7 to 8 exposures to you and your content and your support before they're going to purchase. And what I mean by that is really simple. Before people are going to invest in any of your products, be it online courses or coaching or physical products, they're going to do research, and they're not even going to realize that they're doing research today. If we take a look at any online business owner that's really killing it, you're going to find that they're in the habit of creating content and publishing content all over social media, basically finding out where their ideal clients are and publishing content on those platforms, giving people a chance to discover them, get to know them, and buy their products and services. And that's what works the best. So there's a couple tips I want to give you right now so that you can start to go down this road and really understand how it's going to work for you. The first tip is follow all the videos on my YouTube channel. I'm going to lay out for you exactly how to build a massive following and organically create millions of dollars in sales. You just have to subscribe to the YouTube channel and watch the videos, or buy the book, Build Your Following, because it's going to lay everything out as well. Now, if you're reading this in the book, then keep reading because it's really going to help you. That's the first piece of advice. But let's talk about this for a second. Let's break this down. You're already learning from me that if you want to get really good at publishing content and making money organically online, building a following, the first step is to get really clear on what you're going to be sharing with people. And I'll talk more about that later on in the book, exactly how to figure out how to build a content calendar. We'll go into that in detail. I'll even show you some examples of it. The other thing that you have to ask yourself is, where are my ideal clients at? There are dozens of social media channels that you could build your following on. You want to create a system where you're publishing content on every relevant channel and every relevant platform that your prospects are on. But in order to create that system, you've got to look at that first. Figure out where that is. And watch what platforms are evolving so that you can adapt and continue to put the content in the right places and really give people a chance to discover you. And friends, I got to tell you, if you want a really good example of somebody that is doing this better than anybody else I know in the world, I want you to follow Rachel Pedersen. And I'm going to put a link. I'll put a couple links below this video. I'll put a link to her TikTok account because that's where she's really focusing most of her efforts. But I'll also put a link to her website and her Facebook account. Rachel and I have been friends probably for coming on 10 years now. And it's been really amazing to watch her grow. What I love about Rachel is that she's realized that in order to really connect with her customers and clients, she has to make sure that she's present on all the relevant platforms. So you really have to figure out where are your prospects at. And there's no secret to doing that. Start thinking about all the platforms. So if you want a system to do this so you don't forget anything, grab a pen and a piece of paper. And on your pen and paper, write out every single social media platform you can think of. Do it on a little spreadsheet. Write them down one column. And in the next column, type present. And then another column, type not present. And you'll figure it out. I would say for most people, you definitely want to make sure that your social media strategy for building your following includes Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at a bare minimum. And if you've got a business that is really female-centric for some reason, then you got to think seriously about Pinterest and other platforms as well, but just as a bare minimum. So know where your prospects are, number one. Number two, this is the most important part of this, and this is the part that most people get in the habit of doing it. You should become a consumer of the content yourself. So I gave you a really good example, Rachel Pedersen, that you can follow on the platforms that you're working on and watch her content. Why? Because it's not just about slapping content onto the platform. You've got to make sure that the content that you're publishing conforms to the best practices of the platform. So if your prospects are right here on YouTube, then you want to make sure that the videos you're producing are a bit longer. YouTube loves videos that are 10 minutes or longer because over 10 minutes they can advertise in the middle of them, and that's a big deal. Also, YouTube is a search engine, which means that unlike Facebook, where people just show up there and are there because they're bored and they want to take a look around. Boredom is the number one reason people go to Facebook. The number one reason people go to YouTube is to find new information. So when you're on a social media platform, become a consumer and pay attention to the way things are being published, the way things are being named, the way things are being tagged, the lengths of the content, the focus of the content. These things are all really important for you. And if you become an avid consumer, then you're going to start to notice these things. Like as an example, if you're doing YouTube videos, you really should put tags in your videos. The name of your video on YouTube, this is more important than any other platform. The name needs to be relevant in search. In other words, whenever you're thinking about naming a video, the first words in your name need to be the things that people will search. And there's a really simple technique for doing this on Facebook. All you have to do is go to the search yourself and type the topic of whatever your content is about. And YouTube will show you, because it's a search engine, YouTube will list for you all of the most popular searches that conform to that. And then you want to make sure that your name is like one of those most popular searches. That will increase the search results. And you can pretty well do that on any platform. So my biggest piece of advice to you is you got to know where your prospects are hanging out. So you make a list of those platforms and get active on those platforms yourself. Start by being a consumer of the content. Follow people that are doing it, that are playing at the top of their games, and literally watch how they're doing. Consume the content for your interest, of course, but you've got to take your game to a new level. Start watching how they're consuming the content or how they're producing the content. How much of their body and face is in the videos? How long are the videos? What are the subjects in the videos? What are the keywords in the videos? Start paying attention to all of this stuff, because that's what the expert do. How did Rachel Peter get to become one of the top social media content creators in the world today? It's because in the early days, she was studying what other people are doing, and she still does study those people. And you need to do the exact same thing. It'll serve you. I can't even begin to tell you. Listen, if you truly want to build a massive following, and you truly want to make millions of dollars online because of your following, you've got to start serving your followers content that they want to consume. And you've got to start serving your followers content that uses the best practices of the platform that you're on. All right. If you want more details on what we talked about today, literally go and check out my masterclass. There's an entire 90-minute detailed masterclass that walks you through the entire build your following strategy. If you want a great example of somebody who's killing it and doing it right, check out my friend Rachel Pedersen. We'll see you guys soon.